Shaun Dion, Scott Griffin here. How are you? Smashmouth Radio.
I'm doing good. I'm just glad to be on the show with you guys.
No, man, we appreciate it. You've always been gracious with the time covering you all these years at Alabama. And I know Anthony Averett told me he goes to Baltimore tomorrow. What's your schedule with the Redskins right now? You may be there now.
No, I actually don't leave till next Thursday. So I got a little bit of time.
Next Thursday. Look, I got to hand it to you. You're insane, dude. You're an animal because you're moving. That video, I think it was Instagram or something, you put out showing you cutting in the indoor facility a few weeks before, it may have been right around the combine time or something. Shaun, that's crazy, man, with the injury you had. That's insane.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, just a lot of hard work, and, you know, Coach Saban always teaches you, if you want something and when you put your mind to it, don't let anything stop you. And, you know, I've known like my whole life, you know, what goal I've had in mind, and so that's the way, you know, I've always attacked rehab the way I did from the first injury, and which I knew I wanted to get back, you know, for game one in this injury. I knew I wanted to get back where I could work out for some teams.
And you've gone through so many injuries. This will sound kind of trite. I don't mean it that way, but it's kind of no big deal to you now, right? You just get an injury and you get down for a little while, and then you just get to work.
Oh yeah, I mean, no doubt. Hopefully that was, you know, my last injury I'm going through. But I mean, you know, it's just something, you know, that, you know, I'm used to. I mean, you know, Coach Saban always used this phrase where he says, "So what now? What?" That being said, you know, I got that injury, and my mindset was like, "So what? And, you know, how am I going to respond to it? And I embrace this challenge, you know, that was ahead of me."
Unbelievable. And how are you? What percentage would you get? Of course, we love asking those kind of questions. Are you 100? Are you 90? Are you 95? What do you think?
I'll probably say I'm probably 85 or 90% on. Yeah, I'm clear to do everything. I'm full speed when it comes to doing my sprint and things like that. But, you know, I still make like a little bit of leg exposure and things like that. But I mean, that'll come over time. But other than that, I mean, I'm feeling better than ever, man.
Well, you have just kept a great. Is that family? I know Saban has had a lot to do with it. Probably teammates. Probably some of your genetic makeup. Tell me about the family part of it from back home in Montgomery on why you are a positive guy. And I know you got down. I mean, any human would get down, but there's also got to be something innate in you to make you get through this stuff, not only once, but multiple times.
Well, I mean, you know, like you said, you know, family, I'm a big family kind of guy. And, you know, just, you know, my parents, my family, you know, they continuously, you know, talking to them every day, continuously, you know, hearing them, you know, encouraging me and things like that. Even the people here in Alabama, I mean, you know, the trainers here, I mean, they're unbelievable. They do a really, really good job, you know, making sure that we're getting back on the field. And when we have injuries, you know, they're pushing us extremely hard. And, you know, I always felt, you know, when the trainers want something just as bad as you, probably even more. So, you know, I owe it all to those guys.
There's no doubt. And Jeff Allen and Dr. Kane, I saw a picture of you with some of the guys at the Andrews Institute. I mean, you're very familiar there, and you're as good as the surgery, but also as good as the rehab. So it all works together, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Dr. Kane is like, man, I have so much respect for him, and he'll be a guy, you know, that I can always call on to if I ever have a question about this or that, or this doesn't feel good. I know he'll always be one phone call away.
Shaun Dion Hamilton, our guest here for a few minutes with the Redskins. So tell us how it went down. You were always confident you'd be drafted. You're in the 6th round, which I think is amazing with what you've endured. Just tell us how the conversation went down. Did you have any idea that would happen like it did?
Well, actually, Ron Anderson texted me Thursday morning saying, you know, be on the lookout or whatever. And then Thursday night, he texted me, you know, after I got drafted, and he said, "Hey, we're gonna come and draft you, dog." And I was like, yeah, okay. I mean, 20 teams or so, inches or whatever. And, Friday goes by, Saturday goes by. And, I started getting kind of worried because, I didn't expect to, like, fall up in the draft. But, then, I get a phone call. I was actually watching Netflix. And, Coach Gruden, introduced himself to me or whatever. And he asked me, I'm ready to be reunited with my Alabama boys. I told him I definitely am, and he told me they was going to draft me or whatever. So I was pretty excited about that, to be reunited with some of my former teammates.
There's no doubt that's got to be so. And Anthony said the same thing with 5 guys with the Ravens. You got 6 there with Cam Sims coming. That's got to be unbelievably comforting. But then when you're talking about 4 guys you were in a defensive huddle with, right? I mean, that's crazy.
Right. Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna make the transition that much smoother. And me and Ron were already talking. We were talking on Friday before I even got drafted. Like, we were getting the best out of each other. We know the standard, that we set at Alabama. So we know how we're gonna push each other and know how we can get everyone to play to the best of their ability.
And you probably heard this. It always makes me mad. Okay. You probably heard Colin Cowherd say Bama guys are always injured. Their best footballs left at college, and which I think is asinine. And obviously the draft picks show that. Tell us why he's wrong. Well, why it's really the opposite. You guys are more prepared probably than any college players to go to the NFL.
Oh yeah, I mean, no doubt. I mean, guys always. I mean, sitting meetings with a lot of NFL teams, and I'll probably say that we're probably the most, well, of course the other teams, but I think we're very well ready when it comes to knowing the playbook and things like that, with how complex our defense and things like that are. I mean, it just makes a smooth transition. And on top of, we got a lot of players, from Alabama who are playing at a very high level in the NFL right about now. I mean, look at Mark Ingram. He had a really good season, and he's probably his 6th, 7th, 8th year in the NFL. So,
oh yeah,
I mean, he's doing really good. Dante, Landon, a lot of those guys are just, and there's still many more I didn't name, but I mean, I'm a big fan of, they haven't seen our best yet.
And I don't think they've seen your best yet. I mean, you're confident, you're strong. Did they even talk to you about your Alabama pedigree, that was one of the reasons, or is that just what you believe?
Oh yeah, I mean, no doubt. I mean, they've seen the film on me and know what I can do and things like that. And I can definitely say, just playing here at Alabama, competing with the best, playing with the best. That has definitely helped all of us at the next level, because when you're playing and competing with the elite of the elite talent. I mean, guys who are going to be playing on Sundays. I mean, when you get to the league, it's just going to be smooth. I mean, it's not going to be anything out of the norm that you haven't seen already.
Shaun Dion Hamilton, our guest, just for a minute or two more. So you go next Thursday. You got to arrange living. I guess that's just a camp, a 3-4 day camp, right? First thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Now I know you do your research because you were always athletic and strong and physical, but you were also very cerebral and called stuff. So tell me about the linebacker position with the Redskins. How difficult will it be to get playing time? Because I hadn't even looked at that yet.
Well, I'm a guy. I'm gonna be willing to do whatever the team needs me to do, whether it's just play special teams or be a starter, be a role player, or be a reserve. I mean, I'm just gonna go in there, the mindset, where I'm trying to make the team and put my best foot forward and just impress my teammates and the coaching staff.
Before you go, what the first thing I started talking about was the torch that just passed and passed and passed, and now you got Mack Wilson, who played at your high school. Now he's the dog, and now Dylan Moses will be next, and then Vandarius Cowan will probably be next. I mean, it literally is just a factory of linebackers, and I guess it's talked about for you guys to learn, then take the lead like you did, and then pass it on to somebody else. It's an amazing deal that's the linebacker position for Alabama.
Oh yeah, I mean, people ask me, why should you go to Alabama, Redskins, and things like that. And I mean, you just answered that question right there. I mean, like you said, it's such a cycle and the standard that's here. Growing up, freshman and sophomore year, when it's your time, you always want to be better than the guy who was in front of you. So I mean, I wanted to be better than Reggie, and Reggie wanted to be better than CJ. And Ruben wanted to be better than Reggie. I want to be better than Ruben. Like Rashawn wanted to be better than Ruben. Like Matt and Dylan are gonna want to be better than like me and Rashawn. So I mean, it's just with all the great guys that come here, you can never get complacent because there's so many guys who have set the standard here and played so well that you can never get complacent.